Christina V. Thank you for watching Cosplay in Tampa Bay.
All right, Cosplay in Tampa Bay, welcome back for another interview. We've got Ray Chase himself, also known as the Master of Masters in the Kingdom Hearts franchise, my personal favorite fighting game character in Killer Instinct, Cinder, and of course, let's not forget Noctis from Final Fantasy 15.
Hi
Ray,
there.
how are you doing today?
Nice to meet you, Ed.
Awesome.
Cheers.
So I think the one question on everyone's mind is definitely what caused you to want to get your name out there more as a voice actor?
Well, I can put the blame on Max Middleman, my friend you might know as Saitama in One Punch Man. He's Lushu in Kingdom Hearts. He's Fred Fury in Final Fantasy 15. We got our start together when we were taking some classes, and we kind of meshed that we just really wanted to do a good job and get these really cool video game roles and figure out how the whole industry works. And so we kind of made an unofficial pact that like we would help each other out. Any information we find out, anytime we found out about a workshop, I was first to tell Max, and it was great to have someone who's on your side, who understood what it was like, who you could gripe to when things were going rough, and who would support you when things were going well. So I owe a lot to him to transition from doing audiobooks, which I did for a while, to video games and animation.
And you've basically not regretted it ever since.
Oh, absolutely not. This is so cool, and what an amazing world this is to go to cons.
Oh, definitely. Especially like Metrocon, which is, you know, the largest anime con you'll ever see here in Florida. Yeah. I've seen so many Noctis cosplayers, like it's not even funny.
I can't believe it, and it only seems to be, when the game first came out, there were some, but it seems like it's more and more every single time I go to a convention.
I think it's probably because like how popular it's been getting, especially like now with, you know, the whole online expansions that they're going with.
It's
and,
really good,
the many DLC costumes, and people are just like doing so many various ways, and I was like, all right, well,
that's right.
More power to you.
Yeah.
Another question is, another thing that I was wanting to know is, who is the most favorite character that you voiced along with your least favorite character?
Most favorite character would have to be Noctis, of course. You don't always get the opportunity to play someone for 2 years. Most of the times, if you're a minor character in something, you do it for a total of 4 hours. That's it. That's the only time you really spend with the character from start to finish. Noctis I knew beforehand, going in, doing the demo, all through development. We did the whole series, the whole game in order. You just can't ask for much more than that as an actor.
Understandable.
And my least favorite is Noctis because he's more popular than me, and I don't like him for that, for sure.
It's like if people forget your name, like, oh wait, that's Noctis. And they're just like, oh snap, I remember now. And I'm just looking at people like, okay.
Okay.
Another thing that I've been wanting to know is that when it comes to the fan base of some of the characters, now I know like obviously Noctis is like, you know, the major one, but have you ever tried maybe like, you know, showing some love for any other characters? Like just go like, oh yeah, you know, yeah, Noctis was a thing, but you know, remember I was in Kingdom Hearts? You know, that guy right there?
Yeah, of course. No, yeah, I mean, you give birth to all these characters and you live with them, and I love, especially games like Nier Automata. I played Eve, and that game was just so stellar. Came out of nowhere, took a lot of people by surprise, and playing through that was an emotional journey. I love games like that. Cinder and Killer Instinct. I was also Arbiter in Killer Instinct too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It was really fun to be a part of these different worlds. So I loved it. Yeah, loved this.
So that actually brings me to my next question. You've actually played. You've played through the games that you voiced, of course, right?
It's impossible to play through all of them, especially because the JRPGs are way too long. But for most of them, I play them all the way through. Yeah,
that's really good. So from actor to actor, because I do, I'm big on music and theater, and it's something that I really, really want to pursue. I've been doing this since I was, you know, in elementary school, basically back when I was living in New York. What does one have to do to, you know, push yourself farther out there? Do you just got to keep doing what you're doing, or do you just, you know, try finding different ways, like try looking for different connections? It's just
the struggle for that. I think that you know that you're on the right path is finding a way to make it your job, so that way it's your life. For a while it was a part-time job for me. It was something that I only did online on places like Voice 123, where you get these little $100 jobs, and eventually can sort of like, great, I'll do part-time voiceover, part-time I work as a bartender. And that eventually gets more and more to where you can be a voice actor full-time. And what a lot of people don't know is that video games and animation, it's very hard to support yourself on that alone.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
so many other sides of being a voice actor that aren't as sexy, but really help you be able to focus all your attention on being in video games and in animation without having that second job. So I encourage people to focus on looking into narration. I did audiobook narration, I had 150 books. You do commercials, you do explainer videos, IVR. There's a whole world out there that's a bit under the radar that you might not know about.
Oh, yeah.
But if you can get those jobs, you can really focus on doing all the fun stuff.
So basically just like branch out, try seeing what you can do in the meantime, not just focus on, just on, on theater or on camera, or even, for voice recording, it's obviously different branches of voice recording.
Yeah, they're fun. The fun opportunities are few and far between, and the boring quotidian opportunities are every single day.
That's a good one. That's a really, really good one, because I'm still learning to this day. And like I said, even though I've been doing this for a long time, I'm still I'm still trying to find that one thing that can help me push forward. So and it's not even just for myself as well, but I'm sure for every other aspiring actor watching, I know they're going to want to do the same thing, and I know they're going to be definitely looking for their own perk as well.
Yeah, and for face acting too, there's lots of other ways that you can perform and be around that without being the big movie star. There's all sorts of haunted houses you can be a part of, museums, do reenactments, and do there's lots of performance art, restaurants. There's all these crazy ways to get involved and do something, so at least you're doing that full time, which is important.
Now, there's one thing I've been wanting to know, is that when you finish doing a line, let's say you finish recording for a session and you look back on it, you listen back to it, and you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, is that how I sound like right now?
I am an actor who always wears headphones. So I'm usually putting on a voice, and I get a little self-conscious if I can't hear what I'm doing instantly, if it's, because I might lose it. So having that in my head the whole time, I know that at least I'm on point. At least I'm playing the character to the best of my knowledge. And it's up to the director to choose the best takes from that.
Right. So basically, when you look back on that, you're just you just go with it in a way of saying, you just basically go with it, and you're looking at it well, if that's how it is, then that's how it is, or that's basically
it really depends on the director. I can never be a good judge of my performance. It has to be someone on the outside looking in. And I've worked with some amazing directors in the past who have guided me, and I really trust them. I really do.
Do you also hang out with any of the people that you work with on a daily basis, or is it just
Robbie and Max for sure I see all the time, and then through our Lava Twitch stream we have a lot of guests at Loud Annoying on Twitch. Yeah, you guys got to check it out. We have a lot of cool guests, so I see them through that. But video game acting is pretty lonely because you're always alone in it. You're doing a lot of sessions by yourself. So I haven't met too many people in the industry at this point. Just ran into Steve Bloom finally at this con. It's really, really awesome.
Yeah, he's a really chill dude. I love how he just I love how laid back he is, especially when he's at his panel. He gives all the real stuff for people who want to know about it. I'm okay, that's great. That's something that I feel people need to know, especially for others trying to get into the industry as well. Now, there is one question that I've been kind of it's not really a personal issue, but it's something that I feel I need to ask every other actor, and that is, have you ever had to turn down anything, any type of particular role or any type of character, anything like that, because it kind of contradicts with your lifestyle or kind of contradicts with your beliefs, anything in that matter?
Fortunately, that hasn't come up yet, but yeah, there's definitely, especially for commercials, there's certain PSAs that might not be your cup of tea, and with those, you are sent to the audition, so you can just turn it down at the audition. So it's not a thing that you have to worry about.
That is true.
At all, yeah.
That's understandable. Now, when you're doing a recording session, how long do you normally, how long is it during a session? Is it just depends on how many takes you have to do, or
it could be anywhere from 1 minute to 6 hours, or the longest that you get. Sometimes you go in and it's just a word. I have done that. I did it for Testament of Sister New Devil. I came in all the way, drove to the studio, and it was just bye, and that was it.
I forgot about Testament. Oh my goodness. Oh God. I told a friend of mine about it, and she was I'll give it a shot, and I was you're really going to give it a shot? And she's like, yeah. And then she's like, okay, after one episode, I don't want to watch this anymore. I'm just like, are you okay? And she's like, the amount of things I've seen, the amount of things I've heard, I was like, okay, we get it.
That's amazing.
I mean, like, I understand that there's some people who like that type of stuff, and I know they, quote unquote plot, but no, like, I know that there's a really good story to Testament. I love how the story goes for it.
Yeah, my character, all he does is the story. He doesn't look at a single boob the whole time. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's like one of my favorite. Like, it kind of reminds me of like this old anime Tenchi Muyo, where like he was primarily focused on keeping everybody safe, and everybody wants to get at him, and he's like, no.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Oh man. Another question that I've also been wanting to know is that when it comes to, I want to say, like, different bonding when it comes to your, like, fellow cast members or directors or any type, like, script writers, anything of that. Do you feel like you can be on a really, really good vibe with all of them?
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, I think it's very important because you're separated by a pane of soundproof glass to, before you come into a session, make sure that you at least shake everybody's hand on the other side that you're going to be working with. Which is hard. One of the hardest things about this job is remembering everybody's names as soon as you come in on a show, because it could be up to 10 people. You go around the room, and then I always carry a pen and then write it down immediately. Because then when you are doing the session, you say, "Hey, Lauren, what was that?" Then they know that you care. Yeah,
right,
it's important. Yeah.
Yeah, like especially when you stated earlier when it came to doing all of Final Fantasy 15, you said that you had to do this for a long time, everything about it, and so I know for a fact you had to memorize a lot of people's names when it came to doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Final Fantasy was a very small outfit, though. It was the same. We had a total of 2 engineers on the entire project, and one director directed the whole thing and cast the whole thing, and then the same assistant, 2 script supervisors, and that was it. Only like 6 people worked on that on the other side of the glass.
So it wasn't like a lot of the people. You just had to like memorize those specifics, or
yeah. I mean, it was pretty easy. You're only working with 3 people at a time: a director, script supervisor, and the engineer. And of course Dan from Square. So 4 people really. Yeah.
All right, now let's talk about your convention experience. Now, you can tell there's a lot of attendees going on in the back there. What would have to be your most favorite moment so far?
2 Chocobo Carnival Noctises walking hand in hand. That was amazing.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they walked all the way through. That was great.
That was great.
What was my most from this con? Best experience from this con?
Yeah, like so far your best experience. Like I know Sunday hasn't hit yet, but I mean from what you've been through so far, what would be like your most amazing con experience?
It's been really cool. The Lava Fam, as they call themselves, have come from all over the country to support us, and it's been really cool seeing them in the front row of all of our panels and meeting up with them and seeing these people who we've interacted with so many times virtually get to see them in real life, and it's wonderful.
Yeah. Have you ever had any of the fans, like let's say you're going over to your hotel and you're in the elevator going back to your room, and have you ever had any of those starstruck fans that are like, oh my god?
I definitely hear snickers when I'm in the elevator and they recognize me. For sure.
Oh man, that takes me back to yesterday. I actually had I was going back to my hotel room and we had Xemnas' voice actor.
Oh yeah.
And he just like starts spewing Xemnas lines just out of nowhere. Not even like actual game lines, but he's just like interacting with everybody as Xemnas. We had somebody in the elevator go into a corner and say like, "Can I just have you do one favor for me?" And he's like, "What's that? Can you just say in a world?" That's all I need to say. Just perfect. In a world. And then he just randomly starts making up a generic movie license title.
That's
and
perfect.
I'm sitting here dying. Like I'm literally on the floor of the
Very
elevator
cool.
just cracking up. I cannot believe he was doing all that. Like, just out of pure improv.
That is cool.
And I'm looking up at this guy, I'm like, I guess you got your question. You got your
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, it took me a while to actually compose myself, and I'm like,
That's
this guy went
perfect.
from just a simple request to just
Taking it
improvising
all the way
everything.
through, yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is great. This is
Perfect.
amazing. Well, also, I think one last question
Yeah,
is
sure.
I definitely need to understand is that I need answered is that when you're communicating with fans, is there any certain way you approach them? Like let's say you have someone cosplaying Noctis and they want you to sign anything Final Fantasy related. Do you approach them as Noctis just to make them feel more you know, just to make sure that they're more in tune, or like they're much more, just, it's basically a way of saying to get closer to your fans, like to get closer to anything like that.
Interesting. I guess that isn't usually the way I do it. I come at them as just a person. I don't know. I feel like if you put on a voice, it becomes heightened, and the person might become shy or scared. So I'll do it if they seem like they're easygoing, and then we can play along or stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of the time I just try to be as unarresting as possible. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember there was a friend of mine, and she's a diehard Kira Buckland fan, and I believe I know she was in Near Automata.
Of course.
I forgot who. I think it was 2B. I don't know if it was 2B.
The main character.
It was 2B. Yeah, and she just went over there, and she had like the full black box edition of the game, and she just wanted to sign it, and she approached her and like doing the full voice as 2B, and she was just like starstruck. It felt
That's
like she
cool.
just got like, she felt like a deer in a headlight. Like she felt like a deer in the headlights, and was like, oh.
Yeah.
So like that was what I wanted to know. Like, do you approach fans in that certain way, or do you just want to like, you know, familiarize yourself with them more?
Yeah, I'd rather be as natural as possible. Yeah, I don't want to scare them.
Yeah, that's good. Like that's like the best real world perspective I think is possible, because I know that there's some actors out there who feel like, oh, well, I mean, maybe if I do this in front of them, especially like in the convention community, like, oh, hey, someone's cosplaying Noctis, let me, you know, approach them as Noctis. Or let's say, you know, out of the blue, you see someone cosplaying Adam and Eve from Nier, and you're just like, you know, what if I approach this guy as Eve? What's he gonna do?
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there like, I wonder what would he do?
Yeah. It's different from person to person for sure. Yeah.
Another thing is, was there any other cosplayers that you saw that may have shocked you, like just may have when you go, had you go like, wow? Like,
Yeah,
they put a lot of work
someone
into
was the loading bar from Overwatch with a blinking.
What?
It was really
Are you
cool.
serious?
Yeah, it was really, really cool.
Oh, man.
It's been the best I've seen for sure.
Oh, jeez. That was great. Now, I'm sorry, I know I said last question, but this is truly the last question.
No worries.
If you could do any recording session over again from any of your experiences, which one would it particularly be?
Any recording session over again. Man, I know I wouldn't want to do Killer Instinct over again just because it's so violent. Like that Cinder session was you because there's so many different jabs and different types, and he has his Inferno mode, so you have to do all of those again, but on fire. That was really tough. Very, very tough.
So like it wouldn't be Cinder, but like if it can be anything else, you would be like, okay, cool, I'll do that.
Yeah, sure.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, like I've seen all of Cinder's stuff, and I've heard everything, and I'm like,
It was a tough one for sure.
Especially like some like the shrieking. It sounded like he was like a shrieking motion type of way, and I was like, I feel bad.
Tough, yeah.
Like I'm sitting there like I feel bad for whoever voiced him, but at the same time they did an amazing.
We did all that in 3 hours. The whole thing, yeah.
3 hours of wow.
Yeah.
That's actually. Like it feels like record breaking, but I know for a fact like just that 3 hours can go like it can feel like 3 years of hell for some
Sure,
people.
yeah.
I know when it comes like to me, whenever I'm on stage and you know people are telling me, oh yeah, it's just an hour's worth of rehearsal. That 1 hour feels like 100 years, and I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
It's hard. It can definitely be hard.
Yeah.
Well, guys, so from here at Cosplay in Tampa Bay, we've got Ray Chase. Again, thank you so much for coming in.
Cheers.
And we hope you enjoy the rest of the con while it lasts. Remember, Sunday hasn't hit yet, so you never know what might happen, guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.